People don't buy products, they buy transformations. Nobody wakes up wanting a course or a supplement. They want the version of themselves that exists after using it. Your product is just the vehicle. The transformation is the destination. Most creators obsess over features, more modules, more pages, more bonuses, while ignoring the one question that actually drives sales. What does this make possible for me? A weak offer sells the product. A killer offer sells the outcome, the identity shift, the pain that disappears and the pleasure that shows up. This is why two nearly identical products can have wildly different conversion rates. One is being sold as a thing, the other is being sold as a future. Once you understand this, you stop asking, how do I make my product better? And start asking, how do I make the promise so clear, so specific, and so undeniable that saying no feels like the riskier choice? That single shift in thinking is worth more than a decade of product tweaks. Because in the end, the market doesn't reward the best product, it rewards the clearest, most irresistible promise of change. That's the game. That's always been the game. Risk reversal kills hesitation instantly. The biggest silent objection in every buyer's mind isn't, is this good? It's, what if I lose? Fear of loss is stronger than desire for gain, and it's the invisible wall stopping people from clicking buy. A guarantee doesn't just remove risk from the customer, it transfers it back to you, the seller, which is exactly why it works. When you say, if this doesn't work, you get double your money back, you're not being generous, you're being strategic. You're telling the buyer's brain, I am so confident, I'll absorb your risk myself. That confidence is contagious. People don't need convincing when fear is removed. They convince themselves. This is why weak offers rely on discounts, while strong offers rely on guarantees. A discount says, I'm not sure this is worth full price. A guarantee says, I'm so sure, I'll bet on it. The businesses that scale fastest aren't the ones with the cheapest price. They're the ones bold enough to remove all the risk and let the value speak. Master this, and objections stop being objections. They become invitations. Scarcity and urgency aren't tricks, they're truths you forgot to state. Every opportunity has a real natural limit, limited time, limited spots, limited bonuses, limited attention. The mistake most people make is hiding that truth instead of stating it clearly. When you fail to communicate real scarcity, the buyer assumes they can decide later, and later almost always means never. This isn't about manipulation, it's about honesty with urgency attached. If your offer is genuinely valuable, protecting it with real boundaries protects your buyer from missing it. Think about it, the moments in your life you regret most are the moments you had a chance and let it slide, because nothing forced a decision. Great offers create productive pressure, not fake countdown timers that reset every day. Real consequences for real delay. When people know an opportunity won't wait, they stop deliberating and start deciding. This is why the same offer, framed with urgency, converts multiple times higher than one framed as available whenever. Time pressure isn't cruelty, it's clarity. It closes the gap between intention and action, the gap where almost every dream quietly dies. Stack value until the price feels small. The human brain doesn't evaluate price in isolation, it evaluates price against perceived value. If your offer feels like one thing, the price feels big. If your offer feels like a stack of solutions to every obstacle standing between someone and their goal, the price starts to feel small, even irrelevant. This is why the strongest offers aren't single products, they're systems. They anticipate every excuse, every roadblock, every yeah but what about, and answer it before it's even asked. Every added solution increases perceived value exponentially, not linearly, because you're not just selling more, you're removing more fear, more friction, more reasons to hesitate. The goal isn't to make your offer bigger for the sake of size, it's to make it so complete that walking away feels like willingly staying stuck. When people look at your price and think that's basically free for what I'm getting, you haven't discounted anything. You've stacked value until the math does the selling for you. That is the real skill, not lowering the price, raising the perceived worth until price becomes an afterthought. Specificity sells, vague offers die, quietly. Get in shape, doesn't sell. Lose 12 pounds in 6 weeks without giving up carbs, sells. The brain trusts precision because precision sounds like proof. Vague promises trigger skepticism because they sound like every failed promise the buyer has heard before. But when you get specific, with numbers, timeframes, mechanisms, you separate yourself from the noise instantly. Specificity signals expertise. It says, I've done this enough times to know exactly what happens and when. This is why the most convincing headlines aren't clever, they're precise. People don't need to be impressed. They need to be convinced. And nothing convinces faster than a promise so exact it sounds almost too specific to be a lie. This applies everywhere. Your guarantee, your timeline, your outcome, even your bonuses. Bonus resources is forgettable. The exact 3 templates I use to generate this result is not. Specificity isn't a writing style, it's a trust-building weapon. Every vague word you remove from your offer is a wall of doubt you tear down in the buyer's mind. And doubt, more than price, is what kills sales. The offer is the product, the delivery is just details. Here's the truth almost nobody says out loud: two people can deliver the exact same result, and the one with the better offer wins every single time, even if their actual delivery is weaker. That's not unfair. That's the market rewarding clarity of communication over quality of execution, because most buyers can't judge quality until after they've already bought. Before the purchase, all they have is the promise. So the promise has to do the heavy lifting. This is uncomfortable for people who believe, if I just build a better product, people will come. They won't. Not automatically. Value that isn't communicated doesn't exist to the buyer. Once you accept this, your priorities flip. You spend less time perfecting what nobody can see yet, and more time perfecting the words, the guarantee, the framing, the stack, the things that actually get someone to say yes. The product keeps the customer, but the offer is what gets them through the door in the first place. Master the offer, and the product finally gets the chance to prove itself. What if I told you that the thing you've been perfecting for the last 2 years isn't the thing that's been holding you back? You keep making it better. Better features, better quality, better packaging, and you keep waiting for people to notice. But they're not noticing because they were never confused about your product. They were confused about your promise. Here's the part that's going to sting a little. Nobody has ever bought a product in the history of commerce. Not one person. They bought what the product does for them. They bought the version of their life on the other side of the transaction. And if you can't paint that picture in 10 seconds or less, it doesn't matter how good your product actually is, because they'll never stick around long enough to find out. You are not in the product business. You are in the promise business. And most people are trying to win a promise war with a product strategy. Think about the last time you didn't buy something you actually wanted. Was it because the product was bad? Or was it because something inside you whispered, what if this doesn't work for me? And nobody answered that fear. That fear is the real competitor, not the other brand, not the cheaper option. The fear of losing, disguised as I'll think about it. And here's what nobody tells you. If you don't remove that risk, you're not being humble. You're being expensive, because hesitation costs you every single sale that almost happened. Then there's the lie you've been telling yourself about time. I'll make the offer available whenever people are ready. No, people are never ready. Readiness is a myth people use to justify never deciding. Real opportunities have edges. Real value has boundaries. If your offer never ends, in the customer's mind, it never truly began. Stack the value, kill the vague language. Numbers over adjectives, timelines over promises. Better convinces no one. 37% faster in 14 days convinces everyone, because it sounds like truth, not marketing. And when you finally stack enough real solutions into one offer, something strange happens. The price stops being the objection. The absence of the offer becomes the objection. People stop asking, why does this cost so much? And start asking, why haven't I said yes yet? This is the shift that separates the ones who struggle for years from the ones who scale in months. Not a better logo, not a bigger budget, a sharper, bolder, more specific offer, built to answer every hesitation before it's even spoken. Your product deserves a chance to prove itself, but it will never get that chance until your offer earns the yes. So here's the truth you're walking away with today. Stop asking how to build a better product, and start asking how to build an offer so clear, so specific, and so risk-free that saying no feels harder than saying yes. The offer isn't the wrapping paper around your product. It's the reason anyone ever opens the box in the first place. Build the promise first. Let the product live up to it. Wishing you nothing but massive breakthroughs, bold decisions, and offers so strong they sell themselves. Good luck out there. Go build something people can't say no to. What if the reason you're not making money has nothing to do with your product? What if you could have the exact same product as your competitor? Same quality, same price, same everything, and still outsell them 10 to 1 simply because of how you framed one sentence? What if every no you've ever gotten wasn't a rejection of your product, but a rejection of a promise that wasn't clear enough, specific enough, or safe enough to say yes to? Stay with me for the next 60 seconds, because I'm about to show you the one shift that separates people who struggle to sell from people who can sell almost anything. It's not talent. It's not luck. It's not even the product. It's the offer. And once you see this, you will never look at selling the same way again. Skills are the only currency that can't be stolen. Money gets spent. Followers get deleted. Platforms get banned. But a skill, once it's in your hands, nobody can take it from you. That's the shocking part most people never sit with. They spend 20 years collecting money and 0 years collecting skill, then wonder why they're broke the moment the paycheck stops. A skill is compounding. Money isn't. You can lose every dollar you own tomorrow and rebuild it in 6 months if you have the skill that made it in the first place. That's not motivation, that's math. Rich people know this, which is why they obsess over learning, not spending. Poor people think wealth is a number in the bank. Wealthy people know wealth is a number of problems you can solve for other people. The problem is nobody tells you this in school. School sells you the lie that a degree equals income. It doesn't. Skill equals income. A degree is just one, usually overpriced, way to try to get one.